The stone that the builders rejected have become the main stone. Okay. Um God showed me something prophetically yesterday. This was actually through a nap. Cornerstone the builders rejected has become the main stone. Not only that, last will be first, first will be last. Not only that, you are the head and not the tail. The reason why I'm saying this is I had this dream, and I saw that in this dream there was a child of God. And this child of God was praying. They were on their knees and they were praying to God. And as they were praying to God, they kept looking up to the ceiling. And every time they looked up to the ceiling, there was like this, the movie projectors, the ones that you can literally watch a movie on the wall. You can watch a movie, on anything, the wall or curtains or whatever. It's like a projector. So every time they prayed and they looked up to the ceiling, it's like there was this big screen that would appear like a movie projector. And the person that was praying, they were looking at the screen, and basically they were talking to the people inside the screen. So as they were praying to God, they were praying, then they looked up and there was a confirmation. They're praying again, they looked up, another confirmation. And the first time they looked up at the screen, the people were saying to them, it was like a group of school classmates. There was teachers there and a bunch of school classmates. So this may have taken place for someone pertaining to your college or your school, or the school may just be used as an example, like a place of gathering, basically, right? So every time they looked at the projector, they were seeing their classmates, teachers, and everything. And the first time they looked at the projector, the person was praying and they looked up and they were like, what did they say? I think they were answering the classmates, because the classmates were talking to them. And then all I heard the person say was, I wasn't invited. I wasn't invited. And then they went back down to pray. And then they looked back up again. And then that's when I remember the classmates were saying something like, oh, you should come to the wedding. You should come to the wedding. And then they looked up and they're like, I was not invited. Right? I was not invited. And then they went back down and prayed again. So that was the only thing I saw. I woke up from that dream and the Lord was letting me know that first will be last, last will be first. And you are the head and not the tail. So there was a lot of rejection for this person, right? And the Lord said that where you were rejected was actually protection. And the people that have rejected you, right, in this season, they are going to see that rejection did not dictate your future. That rejection did not dictate your life. That rejection was a blessing in disguise, because these were not the people that were supposed to be around you in the first place. So the school represents like a group gathering or some sort of gathering. But the fact that the second time the person looked up, they said something about a wedding. So some of you guys, you may have not been invited to a wedding, or weddings are usually like families, right? So maybe it was rejection from family. And then the reason why there was classmates is because rejection from school, rejection from college. You may not have been accepted into a college, may not have been accepted into a school, or you may have been rejected from certain classmates. But also it can also represent like a gathering. In general, it represented rejection. It represented rejection, right? But the person that was praying, that confirmed that the reason for the rejection is because the person that was praying is a child of God, is very close to God. And they were treated like a cornerstone. They were treated like they did not matter or anything like that, right? But at the end of the day, they are now the main cornerstone, as in God is going to uplift them. God is going to rise them. And the people that rejected them are going to see that that rejection was a blessing. That rejection did not faze them. The reason why the rejection took place, it was almost like people wanted you to feel left out in your life. They wanted you to feel like you did not belong, that you were not going to have any love, you were not going to have, they purposely wanted you to feel left out. They wanted you to feel left out. But look how the tables are going to turn. Where people wanted you to feel left out, they're going to see that you were never left out. You were never feeling left out. They're going to see that the whole time you were actually the head and not the tail. The whole time they wanted you to feel like you were the tail, but you were actually the head. You were actually the head. You ever hear about situations where people are rejected, and then it turns out the very person that's rejected is the very person that was needed for that job, the very person that was needed for that relationship, the very person that was needed? You see a lot of people who are rejected from family, from friends, from workspaces, etc., and they end up being so successful, and the people that reject them live with regret. Look at them and live with regret, because they knew what they were doing the entire time when they rejected the person. They knew, because they purposely did it. They wanted the person to feel rejected. That's why when the person said, I was praying, said, I was not invited. Remember, when it's a certain event or something that requires an invitation and people don't invite someone, they know what they're doing, because they can reach the invitation out if they really wanted to. So that means it's intentional. Do you get it? An invitation is intentional. It's not I accidentally didn't invite, or an invitation means intentional. I'm intentionally inviting you to come somewhere, to be somewhere, right? So that alone confirms the intentions of those hosting these events or hosting that gathering or whatever. So there was intentions of people not wanting you to feel like you mattered. There was intentions of them wanting you to feel like you're the tail, wanting you to feel left out. But God is going to show them otherwise. Those who rejected you are going to see that was the biggest mistake that they have made. Okay, because God is going to rise you. He's going to show you as the head and not the tail. Okay. Again, the reason why God was showing the person was praying. When the person was praying, they were praying to God and asking God questions, basically, as to why they were rejected, why they were mistreated, how come whatever happened. And when they were praying, they would look up and respond to the people that rejected them. Look back down and pray again, respond again. So that's God giving them the confirmation and showing them they did not want you there. It was intentional, but you are the head and not the tail. You are in a league of your own. You are not in that type of zone or in that type of area. You are in a whole nother league. You are in a whole nother league. And God is gonna allow them to watch him rise you to the top. Okay? So there's no need to feel left out. There's no need to feel like you didn't matter, because let me tell you something, you matter. And there's a reason why God allowed them to reject you, because God did not want you associating with them in the first place. What God has for you is bigger and greater than what they rejected you from. Remember that, okay? Those who rejected you are going to see you rise. I love you guys. Bye.